All right, man. I thought this was a really good video on by Ron Wills, and I think he done a great job. I seen this on BGS Ibmore, IBMOR. I always get his name wrong. That's a wild. That's a kind of a hard name to remember for me, man. But shout out to him. I seen him cover this, and I think he made a lot of interesting points in this video that can help a lot of men out. You know, I think he covered a lot of basis on questions that I had growing up that I had to find out. And now I'm seeing somebody explain it. I don't seem so crazy. But go subscribe to Rom Reels, ROMWILLIS. Um, the title of the video is regardless of how you look, your body is built, your body build and even money, you still have to satisfy them. So this is the title right here. This is the video. Hopefully this brother doing well. I know he was dealing with some health issues, so hopefully doing well, man. Shout out to down there in the DMV area. Let's go.
At you with yet another car video. Regardless how you look, your body is built, and even money, you still have to satisfy them in the bedroom. Excuse me. Bedroom. And I was going to put sex in the title, but look, you got to have some good sex. You know what? I don't care what you got, because all that other stuff is just bait. That get them over there. But just like I've said 1,000 times, a woman will say a guy is fine and tell her girlfriends, yeah, he was fine, till he opened his mouth. There are plenty of women who will say a guy is all that, whatever, got him in the bedroom, had sex with him, and the woman still wasn't satisfied. And, on the other thing, I still never forget this one woman who kept calling this guy, we would call him Elmo. And Elmo, that was my name for anybody's boyfriend or husband or whatever. And I never forget, she decided to give Elmo some, right? And she said, Elmo got skills. Elmo ain't Mr. Nice Guy anymore. He Mr. Good Boy. Oh, shit. I'm going to tell you what. Now, many a times I've talked about the pillars of sex as outlined by the master teacher, BGS. Well, the pillars of getting a woman. In the environment you in.
All right, let's stop it there. So you heard what he said, right? I did another video, and they asked a woman, I might have did a short. They asked a woman, how do you get out the friend zone? And she said, I don't know, she said some bullshit. And the guy was with her, it was her and her homegirl, another guy. He said, what's she talking about, this bull job? I was in the friend zone with her until I smashed. Now I'm not in the friend zone anymore. So you got to understand what he said is everything is bait, from your height to your looks, to your size, to your swag, to your car. That's just bait. That's bait to get the woman there. But, once you get them there, let's say you got a restaurant, you go, oh yeah, I got this, that, and the oxtail, chicken wings, and all the best food you ever tasted. And they get there and they spend their money, and it's not the best food they tasted. They ain't coming back. Right? And then the next person that they hear say that about their restaurant, about a product, they're going to be hesitant to try it. Right? So this is how women come up with categories about nice guys, right? Or about certain guys. So if a guy was real shy to a woman, right, and she gave him a chance and he was real reserved, shy, and she got to the bedroom and he knocked the paint off her nails, right? He you know what I'm saying? he knocked her wig off and he was amazing, right? Now, she gonna be willing, that's gonna kind of be her telltale. Okay, maybe shy guys really got it going on. But let's say she get with a I don't know, let's say she get with a very social guy, a guy that talk a lot of shit, talk big shit. I'm the best in the bedroom. I got this, that, and she get him in the bedroom and he trash. You know what I'm saying? He ain't hitting on nothing. Right? Now her whole thing gonna be another guy that do that. he trash in the bedroom. So this is how a lot of women come up with these, painted narratives in their head about who to deal with and who not to deal with. Like I told you, a lot of women think nice guys are disingenuous. And also if they get them in the bedroom, they're nice. And this is why a lot of them just deal with Pookies and Ray Rays, and they be like, well, the Pookies and Ray Rays, they satisfy me. And a lot of times it's not because they great in bed. A lot of times it just boils down to the thrill of, being with a guy that you shouldn't be with. The thrill of danger is what get them wet. Anybody understand women, you understand the foreplay. For them, the danger of Pookie and scammers, the foreplay, or, it's kind of like the toxicity of sneaking around with somebody you shouldn't be with. It makes it more intense. You kind of see what I'm saying? A lot of women and guys get intoxicated with the toxicity of something. And for them, with a certain type of guy, somebody else's husband, a drug dealer, a scammer, a criminal, a killer, it's the thrill that get their box wet. There has to be some type of excitement or something to pull you, some bait to pull you in. Whether the excitement is how attractive he is or how tall he is, or the excitement is look at his jewelry, look at his watch, look at his ring, look at the Range Rover. That's how it goes. But let's keep going.
You got to have some bait. He would call it a trap, but you got to have something to draw him over to. That's what looks, body game, all that about. Body game is about the foundation, getting him over there. You still got to talk to him. All right. But even with all of that, you still got to knock him out in the bedroom. You still got to give some good sex. Indeed, because some guys might have some other things, a woman might still deal with them. She'll keep them. But I would advise those guys to double back home one day. I haven't done this in a long time. Hey, Joe Rockhead, listen up. I ain't done this in a long time. Yeah, you double back home. You go upstairs. You be hearing all that screaming from the bedroom. It ain't you. And shit, some guy pounding the shit out your woman. And then he look back at you and be like, my bad. Did you, man? Shit, in fact, that's what a lot of women do. See, enough isn't talked about why women cheat. And yeah, they'll talk. They'll tell you some stuff. Oh, it was just some emotional thing. They'll come up with all this bullshit. Shit, they can get a cat or a gay best friend for all of that. If it's some emotional shit, they cheating for sex. Don't let a woman tell you otherwise. I will argue with a group. I'll argue with 1,000 women in a group for it. I was like, if all y'all want some emotional stuff, shit, like I said, you can get a gay best friend. You can get a cat. Shit, you can get a dog to walk or something. Shit, a pet or something. A pet is always there for you. Not so much a cat, though. Cats, they on their own thing. But that's a whole other conversation. But at least get a dog. That dog is totally loyal to you. So, shoot, don't be acting like your panties just came down just because that guy ain't doing whatever. Funk that. Fuck that. Shoot, this dude trying to go someplace. I'm gonna see if I can let him out a little bit. Yeah, still not. It's a red light up here, but she ain't bitching. Anyway, yeah, but I'm gonna tell you what. All that other stuff is bait. Like you got some of these guys, And
let's stop him right there once again. He talked about why women cheat. It's about sex. It's about sex. A lot of, if you, when you're in a relationship, you go through ups and downs. Like you might go through a situation where you might be stressed out at work and you ain't really, putting it down, or you might be putting extra hours in. Let me just tell you how selfish women are, right? And I got a video coming eventually. I'm gonna tell you exactly when I got it, when I got it coming up. This will probably be after this video. I don't know where I'm gonna put it up, but I'm gonna put it on the Patreon first, and then I'm gonna put it up on the channel. If you get the Patreon, you get it first. It says women give men more reasons to cheat than men give women. And watch that video if you get the Patreon, or watch that video when it come up on the channel, right? But women cheat for sex. I remember I had a situation and they were going through some shit. Oh, I haven't orgasmed, and it became a big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, times I'm smashing, I ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? Women are selfish, man. Women look for any little reason to cheat. They're very meticulous. If they're not getting something, they're gonna get it from somewhere else. A vibrator, another dude. They don't really think twice, especially when a woman is comfortable. They don't think twice about you losing you because they don't think you're really gonna leave, because what they're gonna try to do is damage your reputation. That's why most men don't leave women. It ain't always comfortability. It's not always love where I invested something. Most women don't want to take that L. They want to tear your house up, call the police, put you in danger, come up to your job. But when women not getting something, they get it from somewhere else, whether it's money, whether it's sex. They really, most women don't have a code, bro. A man got to go have a code and a woman don't. And society doesn't berate a woman or look at a woman because they're meant to be cowardly. I always say that women do whole shit. That's what they supposed to do. They do things for survival. That's why they really don't make women pay for snitching in the hood and all the whole shit she do in the hood. They'd rather fight Tyrone for sleeping with the neighborhood hoe than check the neighborhood hoe.
These looks maxer guys, they be getting online and stuff, talking about how good they look. Okay, fine. Are they getting any booty behind it? And I mean, I know they say they are, but are they really? They be acting still. They don't be acting like it. Because one thing, if you're a dude and you getting some regular pussy, you gonna have some calmness to you because all that testosterone is out of your system. You calm as shit. Shit. Yeah, I remember that was some old school shit. I remember one time. This was back in college and stuff. We playing an intramural basketball game. And I shot a bad shot. Shot that damn thing over the backboard. The women who were watching, they say he need a girlfriend. Should you be calm down, you get it. See, that's how you know somebody getting some or they not getting some. Just watch how calm they are. That's some old school shit. That's why boxers be saying, hey, no sex before fight. Shoot. I remember there was a football team in D.C. They were kicking everybody's ass, beating people by about 40 points. I remember a friend of mine, he was like, yeah, that's because they coach tell them they can't get no pussy. That's how powerful that shit is. But that could be a whole other conversation. But I'm going to tell you what, though. I don't care what you got. What good is it if you ain't getting the pussy? And see, one thing with women, and I've said this 1,000 times, you can look good, but a woman still might, if you're looking too innocent, a woman still might not mess with you. There's plenty of guys out there who women will say is attractive, but don't be getting them wet. And then you get some guys out there on some medium ugly shit. Not looking that good, but the woman is, she taking her panties off, talking about I won't be needing these. Cause shit, that motherfucker look like he'll tear up some pussy. That motherfucker look like he'll get down there and eat all that shit. Shit, take his time or something. Cause even then, one thing that women, the look they looking for is not so much how aesthetically good looking he looks. They looking, does he look like he can fuck? Shit. Sometimes a motherfucker, shit, he can be whatever, but that motherfucker, they look down, he got that print. I still remember, and I've told him.
And my thing is this, like he said, they have a particular look. I ain't gonna get into the print situation, right? But no, did he? Yeah, they have a particular look. Remember, I kind of went back and said she was with the shy guy, or she was with the shy guy, or she was with the braggadocious guy. That shapes how they perceive guys. So if they gave a nerd some punani, it was weak. Now in their head, all nerds are weak. They always revert back to the guy. You know what I'm saying? They always revert back to the guy that, the qualities or the characteristics or the things they pick up on the guy who gave them the best sex. If they got the best sex from a Jewish guy, you know what I'm saying? They're going to start looking for Jewish guys. a redhead guy or a guy that was this tall, built like this, he had these social qualities, or he was real quiet, or he was this, he was you know what I'm saying? When you start hearing that stuff, that's how they pick them. If I had the best sex from a guy I met at the club and he had his hat, he was a thug and he had a chain on, now they gonna start searching for that. But like I said, everything is a mystery. If they had sex with a muscular guy, he was weak as hell, and it was terrible. Now all muscular guys are trash. Just instead of it just being a one-off and an anomaly in their head, and then like I said, they go to the guys that gave them the best thing ever. Now they go looking for those qualities. You kind of see what I'm saying? Whether he was a short dude and he knocked my shit loose, and this, that, and the third. He was a short guy that did. They gonna start looking for guys that fit that quality. That's how women really come up with certain things like that. I remember I was talking to a chick, and she was like, you don't really brag. You don't brag a lot about sex. You don't brag a lot about sex. A lot of guys, they brag and they be weak in the bed. You probably ain't weak in the bed because you don't be bragging. And my thing is this, to keep it a being with you, like, dog, I'm not pressed for sex. I'm not young no more. So I'm not, that really ain't, I feel like that's, I feel like that's going to be an absolute. That's going to be an absolute. So I don't really speak on it because I know most women, most of the conversations I'm going to have with women, the woman going to bring up the sex to keep it a being. The woman going to bring it up. So I ain't got to bring it up to keep it real. But that's just me. But yeah, her experience was guys that brag was trash. Me personally, my experience was, I just know it's going to happen. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I shape their experiences and how they pick the guys they want to be with, especially black women. Everything is about sex.
Talked about this a couple of times on one of my 1,000 jobs. This woman, she looked at this dude and he had a genetic thing, one of those cleft lips. I forget what it's called exactly. But she said he probably got the most beautiful dick. And she said that in a mixed crowd. Because I'm going to tell you what, with women, yeah, they look at men.
What's so funny about this? I remember me and my boy G, we was at the casino, shit, bro. It was like 10, 15 years ago. We at the casino and we talking to these girls. It's a group of us, and this one girl come up to us. We both were like the same skin color. She was like, y'all penis probably like dark, light, probably multiple colors. We both bust out laughing. Like I said before, just my experiences, I just know most women gonna talk sexual first. I just know that.
Yeah, they look at his physical appearance. They be looking at all that stuff. But one of the things they don't talk about publicly, or at least around most men, they be looking to see if that dude can fuck. Indeed, that's why you might see a very beautiful woman with some average looking dude, and you get some bammers be thinking, oh, it must be the money, it must be this or that. No, that motherfucker probably tapped the shit out that shit. He probably tore that shit up. Shoot, that's why some women, even when I've talked about dudes be getting women without spending any money. Now, I know a lot of dudes can't relate to that. But shoot, if that dude is somebody who can tear that shit up, give the woman the impression he can tear it up, and then when they actually have sex, tear it up, shoot, she come out of her pocket.
And exactly. The whole point he trying to make is once you get to the promised land, you must perform. That's the point he trying to make. Once you get to the promised land, you still must perform. Once she give you a chance, and a lot of women, they'll give guys a chance that they don't think can fuck because they're like, oh, the guys I'm messing with right now, they ain't doing it for me. So let me try something else. Or, you know what I'm saying? They might just be ovulating or something like that. And they might just need something. They might just give a random guy or a guy they got, oh, I'll finally give him some because I ain't got nobody else to come knocking it. And it's a lot of, and they like, damn, it's good. And now you got the power. That's why a lot of times when guys have sex with women, the guy get the power. The guy can be trash. The guy can be trash in bed, but if he don't call that girl back or he ghost her, she gonna be blowing him up, trying to see why he ain't want no more. And she you could take the play away that way. But a lot of times it's just, oh, he really smashed it. He really knocked it out the park, and now she's stuck. Like, he ain't never got no job. He a bum. He this, that, and the third. Sex. And the thing about it is, when you create sexual chemistry with the woman, and that's the best type of sex is when you create sexual chemistry, when you have sex with a woman so many times, you understand how her body work, how to make her do this, that, and the third, what she like, what she dislike, and how to really push the envelope and how to really kind of like switch shit up with her and stuff. You always have an attachment to her, regardless, always.
In fact, that's one of the biggest complaints women have out here. Sex. They ain't done right. Shit. That's why women, they'll pay for that shit. They'll pay gigolos. A gigolo is like, and the way that works is they pay the gigolo for the time, but then they had the sex. Technically had a sex for free. Really, they pay him for that dick. Shit. That's why some of those exotic dancers be doing some shit. Or shoot, those hobosexuals. They there just to stroke that woman. Women want that. Women want that. And when they looking at a man, the main thing, they might check out other shit depending on what's going on, but they want to know if he can fuck. That's why you be seeing some couples, you be like, damn, why dude might be like 30 pounds overweight, but he can fuck. Dude he might not be that tall, but he can fuck. In fact, that's why some guys, they might have that height. They might have conventional good looks. People will say, yeah, he's good looking. But the women who came across that dude, they didn't get wet. Because when women are around a man who can fuck, they feel it. They feel it. They feel it. They be checking it out. And trust me, women, they know it. They know it. Even if the guy be trying to act like he ain't did shit, they know it. They be looking at a man, how he looking at him, how he moving, everything. Shoot, how calm, like I said, how calm he is. Because the dude be getting pussy on a regular, he be a calm ass motherfucker. All that testosterone is out of his.
And then also you got to peep game too, how hypersexual he ain't. A lot of dudes be with women, they go on a date with a woman, meet them at the bar, they come off as thirsty and hypersexual. Women already know if you coming off thirsty and hypersexual, you know what I'm saying, that you probably not gonna close the deal like you should close the deal. You know what I'm saying? If you hypersexual and you sitting here begging, she knows it's probably gonna be trash.
System. Shit. Even if you don't tell him, a woman there around the guy, how he respond to him, how he behaving around him, and he don't have to say shit. They be like, yeah, I know you be tearing up some stuff. Shit, I've had some women tell me that. Now a guy probably be like, oh, they know, because they got vaginas, motherfucker. They'll feel it. Like, women should get some women on here. They need to do it. And I know some dude probably be like, why don't you get some women on there to say it? Well, what's that going to change? Is that going to make your shit easy? Shit. And then, even then, let's just be real with something like that. You still ain't going to listen. Shit. And some guys be trying to figure it out. They say, well, yeah, maybe I'll get with that sex worker or something. Maybe I can learn something. I'm gonna tell you what though, man. You can't really learn shit from a sex worker for one simple reason. They some actresses. They'll make you think you the bomb. You last 2 minutes, they'll make you think that's the best 2 minutes of their life or something like that. Shit, they some actresses. Shit, they ain't even turned on. They'll scream, do all that shit, because they get money out of you. You can't trust. You can't trust them. If a woman get money out of you, you can't trust what she's saying or doing. Because women, shoot, they be lying, actress. They some serious actresses or something. Only way you know you tearing that woman out One, if you got experience, you got experience. Like if somebody were to say, well, I've been with all these women, I say, yeah, well, okay, did she do this? Did she do this? And I don't say it publicly just in case somebody hit me up so they don't know what to say. I say, did she do this? And dudes be like, no, well, she ain't do this, she ain't do this, she ain't do that. Man, you lying through your teeth then.
And that's my point. When we get to talking like Myron and them be talking about sleeping with 1,000 women, and that's nasty. You a nasty ass nigga, man. I'm gonna tell you first and foremost, your retention rate. You got women that you can keep around. Now, even if you got a woman that you sexually kicking with, she ain't gonna always be around on a consistent basis. Women gonna always want something. There's always gonna be a guy that she gonna go off with. She off and on with. She might get married to him, or she might fall out with him, be mad, and then they might come back to you and still fuck with you. Right? You have women like that. When you got even with a rotation of women, they eventually don't want to stay a rotational piece. A lot of these women today so powerful, they only going to ask to be your girlfriend, right? But let me say this. You will have a trick ask a hoe to be his wife before you have a lot of these hoes that, or these women that ask to be your girlfriend these days. That's just damn near true as fuck, right? But, what is your retention rate like? You see these women busting niggas' car windows out, begging niggas, hide niggas' keys, don't leave, spend the night, don't leave. If you smash a girl and she ain't cuddling with you, or she ain't trying to cook with you and trying to keep you there, or you smash her, unless she's a single mom and she got to leave and she ain't trying to cuddle after you, like, bro, what's your retention rate like? That's why I see a lot of dudes, what's up with this many, but ain't no girl calling you back to see what's up because it was trash.
Because... like I said, women are actresses or something, but they can. It's just something. Just talk to some women. If you're around some, just talk to them. They know when somebody getting some or not getting some. They know what's up. They know the Higgins. Seriously, they know.
He's exactly right. They 100% fucking know. Just what I'm talking about. You being too hypersexual, demanding sex, talking sex too soon. You know what I'm saying? You anxious about it. You begging for it. They know, bro.
They just know. They can feel it. Just like if you're an attuned man, you can know when a woman is really about that sex life. You can know it. No matter what she say or do, you know it. You can feel it. You can talk about, you can look at how she's standing, how she's looking at you, body language, all that stuff. You could be like, oh, okay, yeah, she getting down. Nah, she ain't getting down. Trust me, you would know it. But the only way you would know is you would have to have the experience. And I know some dudes thinking, well, if I just look a certain way, yeah, but if you can look I don't care. You can look like the most beautiful man in the world. Shit, you can be.
He said something, experience, bro. You got to have the experience. You got to be in it. You got to go through the ups and the downs, the slips and the falls. You got to succeed and you got to fail. If you don't get in the field and experience real life shit, it don't even matter, bro. You got to have the experience on both sides, female or male.
Your head in and get all this plastic surgery and stuff. A woman going to take one look and say, does he look like he can fuck? Does he look like he can fuck? A woman going to take that one look. And that's why you be getting some dudes, they be getting online, some looks maxing dudes, they get online and women get mad, the women ain't feeling them. Because I'm going to tell you something. One thing I found with women, and this is in life, and this go beyond even sex or looks. What a man think a woman thinks is good looking and what a woman thinks is good looking are two different things. That's why I say don't even worry about it. Just be your best, and it depends on the woman. And really, the big thing with women is they want that man who they think he can stroke. That's why, shoot, if women, they come across like different men, they will hold them to different standards. That's why they can be around a nice guy, good looking nice guy too. Everybody like, how come you didn't get with him? Shoot, sometimes even a woman will say that. You can't fuck. You don't get a.
And let me preface what he's saying right here about the premium put on sex. That's mainly black women. Now we had the other brother that come on the show. I did a video. He said Latinos and black women, if you can't stroke, don't be in a relationship with them. But this is mainly a black woman thing. They care more about the penis, about sex, anything, everything that they equate your physical characteristics for them. It's about sex. This is why they are married atheists. This is why they'll be with drug dealers. They'll be with this guy. This is why they say they want to reform Pookie. This is why you hear them speak of these things. This is why you stay hear them. This is why they have baby daddies by ain't shit dudes, or they have homosexuals in here. All their stories is about homosexuals and black men don't have no money and black men don't take them on dates. It's because their whole dating template or dating strategy is around sex. That's it. When you talk about Becky and Ling Ling and them, you know, sex may not be in the top 5. When you talking about, you know, dating and marrying, how you treat me, your character, what's your values, how we gonna raise our kids, you know, if it come down to doing right or wrong, are you business minded? You know, they see the potential, your ideas, how your brain work. Okay, he might just need a little bit of nudge here. Or you know what, in the black community, they don't have this. So I have the access to this private equity or this funds over here, and then we can make it happen as a duo. You know what I'm saying? Where the black woman just think about dick, attraction, status, everything has to do with dick. Every other women don't think like this. And this is why other black men go to other places and they get celebrated. Because black women, their main thing is dick, 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 dick. Everything they look for in the market is dick, dick, dick. And then when they get older, they settle for this provider guy. And then they don't like the marriage because they finally got the wedding. And they like, oh, I got married, but I'm not happy. He a good father. He a good man. But I just got a divorce because all they care about is the dick. They sexualize themselves more than anything else or anybody else on this planet. But let's keep going.
Pressure. Because one thing, when women feel a man, they get turned on by a man before he even penetrate.
There you have it. There you have it. He's making a lot of great points. Therefore, when a woman is turned on by you, when you just that ninja, when you just that Brad, when you just that Chad, when you just that, you know, Lee, when you just him and she really fucking with you and you y'all emotionally connect, she fuck with you socially and all that, she wet. So therefore, it may take you 2 pumps to get her to that place. It might even just take a touch to get her there. When you mess with women who like you and who are attracted to you, now she can look at you and she can go like a waterfall. She can just be so attracted to you, look at you. You open your mouth, like he said in the beginning of the video, and she dry up. Right? So when you have women have this natural attraction to you and they get to know you, you cool, the sex become easier, bro. She may not even climax. You hear women say, well, I ain't never really orgasm off penetration because they dealing with guys they don't like. A lot of women can't orgasm just when a guy they like touch them, bro.
Turned on by a man before he don't even say anything. They can feel a man. I remember this woman I dealt with for a few years. She said she knew when I was around, even if her back was to me. I had a couple women say they could feel something. Women know. And you know, you get some guys out here trying to like fake and all of that. And women know. You could tell them whatever. But they're gonna be looking at you like, yeah, whatever. And even if you could even be like that type of guy, be talking some smack. Man, you better back that shit up. You better back it up. And yeah, some women, they'll deal with a guy, he's good to walk around with socially and he got that money, but Like I always said, like I said earlier, double back home one day. Double back home. In fact, that shit's so important. That's why I will always maintain you don't really need money to get women. Shoot, they'll get the money man and come up with reasons why they don't want to have sex with them. In fact, I saw something on IG. This dude, he was in some metaphysical stuff though. He was saying, shoot, that's why these women be having those headaches. Cause they just don't feel that man for some reason. And then they'll mess with some young boy or some dude who definitely don't have money. Like you get these dudes who thinking, well, yeah, you gotta have some money or something. Yeah, how is it all these MILFs, all these female teachers, all these older women messing with some young boy? He don't got no money. I want y'all to think about that. Anybody who even bring up money, I want you to answer that question. How they still messing with that guy? That guy don't have no money. Sure, that young boy don't have any money. He's sleeping in the same bed he's still sleeping in the same bed. Sure. I've even talked to some women. I never forget this woman I knew. I haven't talked to her in ages though, but she was dealing with this guy. He was literally living in a basement. He was fine though. He could fuck though. She was stroking him like crazy. And I asked her too. I said, how you get him? She was like, she easy and she bring beer. Yeah, look, and that's something else too. These women want to fuck out here. Seriously, these women want to have sex out here. Shoot, whatever. Shoot, that's why you got a whole industry of sex toys and stuff.
All right, before he keep like really digging into that point of it, he right. Most guys don't know how sexual women are. You know what I'm saying? In high school, we think it's this perception that it's the men that's usually the horniest. Believe it or not, I feel like it's more females that take men virginity than especially when they're around the same age or the woman older than the guy. It's more females that take guys' virginity than guys take girls' virginities. The guys that take girls' virginities a lot of the time, they're older. But if they're around the same age, the woman is the one that's really initiating that sex. Real talk. You got to remember, most women start bleeding when they 16, 15. That's when they prime begin. So they like 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. All right. So they got front ends. We got great back ends. But as far as how we enjoy, right, how our bodies mature and how the sex drives and stuff go. But he's right. These until you really start dealing with women, you don't know how much they value sex. They value sex more than men do. And they was talking money. But then again, a lot of the dudes who got money, they get cheated on. They get cheated on by the guys that don't have no money. That's why I tell y'all, when a lot of these black women talk about you got to have 6 figures, you got to have this to date them, it's to date them, not to fuck them. That's just what it boiled down to. If a woman ain't spending money, if she ain't asked you to come over, she ain't text you I'm horny or nothing like that, bro, you ain't doing it the right way. You ain't desired by that woman. If every time you got to call to initiate her, or every time you got to be spending bread, that's just what it is. Women like sex more than men, bro. This is a fact. This is why you see women get on IG and just get naked so much. You don't see a whole bunch of dudes on social media, showing their prints off or showing their bodies off and all this type of shit. Like you see the rate of women getting naked and all that type of stuff. When women get naked like this, even if they married and they start putting these sexy, provocative pictures on, or they start, their legs open and start doing this, that's a calling card that they want to get stroked. When your woman start posting provocative pictures y'all together, bro, she trying to get stroked by somebody else. That's a fact.
These women want to have sex. Shit. I don't know how big the porn industry is for women now. I personally know. They keep it quiet. Shit. That's why women be up in that sexual shadow world. Only reason they dipping down is they want.
Let me say this too. Porn industry is crucial. I remember I was talking to this girl who's really good friends, and she took me to somewhere for my birthday. I keep it anonymous, right? If you're in Detroit, Dearborn, the Red Lobster on Dearborn on Telegraph and Warren. We went there, and they got a sex store. Like, you can throw a rock and hit a sex store. She was like, yeah, me and my homegirls going there all the time. This say, little sex lingerie stores where they got the curtains covering it up on the inside and stuff of that nature, bro. Yes. And, Chuck, one of my subs, I met him at LA Fitness one time. Shout out to Chuck. If you see the video, he know what it is. And he was telling me that women was telling him, Chuck probably trained pussy too, dude. I guarantee you probably do. He was telling me that women watch man on man porn. They watch that. I'm like, what? Yes, women watch porn and all that type of shit, bro. That's wild.
What's up? Why these women be cheating? In fact, if you go on some of those sites talking about what women talking about where they cheating, I was about to honk this dude, didn't go quick enough. But even when you go on those sites, these women will say dead bedroom. Dead bedroom. These women want to get some. These women want it. These women be wanting that shit every day. Shit, some dudes even cool with that shit. They understand it. They say, look, just don't fuck them in the bed. Don't bring them home. No embarrassment. Because they know. They know. And a lot of...
And believe it or not, the guys that he talking about, because remember that Portia chick, what was the dude that she was with? I don't know him, but he basically, the African dude or whatever, he told her, because he couldn't have sex no more, hey, you can have a boyfriend, just don't let it be in the public so it won't affect the kids. You know what I'm saying? And she still let it be in the public, and he got mad at her. So y'all, somebody know in the comment section what I'm talking about. But it's a lot of guys like that, regardless of they sexually functional or not. It ain't the dudes who broke per se who look like that who will let her go fuck around because she got the money. It's provider dudes, it's dudes and means, not even sugar daddy age. That's understandable, that allow they girls that they dealing with to go sleep with other guys and to put parameters on that. You know what I'm saying? That it's a lot of guys that allow that to happen. For reasons I don't know why. Maybe they don't want a divorce. Maybe they feel like they love them as much. I just wouldn't feel like a man in those situations. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I was decrepit or something like that, then I would understand it, to be keep it a bill. Or something was wrong or crippled or whatever, I would cool. You know what I'm saying? But I would never understand that. Why are you a functional adult? But we know that's huge in Caucasian culture, but that's another video for another day.
Dudes, they just ain't turned. They can't figure it out. Because even when I talk about that select and non-select, that's a sexual hierarchy. That's all that is. That's why the dudes at the top, the Mr. Good Boss, they ain't necessarily, they probably won't make any money as a model or something. And that's one thing I would change if I, even in my book, Nice Guys and Players, because I talked about, oh yeah, they handsome, but no, not really. The women might call them handsome, but they ain't drop dead gorgeous or anything. It's just something about them. They just sexy. That's just sexy. Wait a minute. Had to run that light. Anyway, yeah, they just sexy. And, these women, that's what they be.
Not committing crimes on the road. You said, fuck that light, man.
Looking for. That's what they be looking for. They want that guy that they can get up in. Or that guy who gonna get up in them. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't see these cars lined up. Yeah, okay, everybody else probably done figured out. It's just regular old coffee. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, seriously. See, that's the thing you gotta have. Yeah. You still want to fix up as much as possible, get them over there. And you still want to have that conversation. And you still want to be in the right environment. But you still got to knock them out the box. And a woman, she's going to be evaluating a man sexually. In fact, in one of his books, Master Yao, he mentioned that briefly. And I always mention Master Yao. He said women always... Even when women always checking out a man sexually, even when it don't have shit to do with sex. They always looking. They always evaluating. They always evaluating. Will this dude do some good shit? Sometimes they can be blatant. They will look right at your print. They thinking about all that shit.
And he's right. Just the same way as you as a man you survey for your safety. You are watching niggas' hands. You watching how people moving. Women, they watching guys. This guy, girls I done talked to at the gym before. Oh, I was watching you and I was seeing who you interact with. They sitting there like with a power reader, just trying to learn and read you. Real talk. So, people always watch, but women always watch, especially if y'all somewhere where y'all constantly seeing each other, Starbucks, the grocery store. And after, some women, especially today, right now, between now 2026 and to 2010, it's totally different. A lot of women in 2010 and in that era, they would be aggressive. They would let you know that they want to be with you. And guess what? A lot of times it worked out that way. It worked out great for him and great for her. They be together a long time. So I never really understand, well, these women are so prideful today. They crying about not getting approached. Go get what you want. Y'all go get them degrees. Y'all go get them food stamps. Y'all go get them vouchers. Y'all go get free turkeys. Go get you a man. Go get you a man. Go tell that. Go shoot your shot.
They thinking about all of that shit. Even the height thing. Like, people know I talk about in my book, Nice Guys and Players, talk about Jim. That dude might have been about a good 5'8". But I knew like several of his girlfriends. And let's just say the number they used was 10. 10 inches. Because he's tearing them up in the bedroom. They weren't tripping off all of that shit. Shit. And, like I said, women, they be looking at every little thing. It's like, does he have this? Does he have that? And dudes be sitting back like, damn, what's up? Because women want to tell you, when women want that shit. Shit. Women be hunting. Shoot, that's even why you get some young women, they'll check out an older man. If an older man got that confidence, look like he'll tear them up, satisfy them, boom. In fact, that's why you get some women, they don't even want to deal with some men, because, like, if they got to feel like that man is going to satisfy them, like, you get some guys, they caught up in themselves. A woman want to know, is he going to do something for me? And a lot of guys got sexual hang-ups and shit. That's why I say, don't worry about a woman's body count, because as soon as you say that, you letting a woman know you got some hang-ups and shit. So she'll make that shit hard for you. She don't want to give it up. In fact, several women have said they would give it up to a man sooner, but he tripping and shit. So, he acting like there's some problems. So they can't look like a hoe.
There you go. And I always tell you, practice stoicism. Create a comfortable social environment for any woman you talking to, regardless. You could be a daughter, it could be a wife, it could be a floozy at work. Create a comfortable environment for them to tell you any and everything, and don't judge. Don't judge, don't fight, don't try to understand, don't ask why. And a lot of these dudes judge women like, oh no, she might start talking politics. Just shift the conversation. Yeah, for sure. I feel you, woo, woo, woo. Don't, well, you vote for him, you do this. Or she might start talking about this, that, and the third. Or I really don't really care for this. She might start talking some feminist shit. Don't argue with her. I can see that. And just keep it player. You know what I'm saying? But you start arguing with her and you start talking your philosophies on women and telling her your playbook, that's gonna make her guarded and don't make her feel like she can be transparent with you. That's one thing you don't want, no relationship with no woman, even if it's a woman you stroke, especially if it's a woman that you marry, you want to be with, you want transparency and honesty. And when you start judging women or judging people in general and speaking down on them, what they doing and what they did, they guarded and they can't be free with you. And when you got people around you who can't be free with you, they really hold some type of resentment. You feel what I'm saying? So, you know, I done been through a lot of shit, did a lot of shit. So I don't be judging people, bro, to keep it a bean. You gotta do some wild shit for me to be like, damn, you know, but before I be like, damn, and really laugh in your face or really be like, damn, that's fucked up like that, I'm just gonna get away from you.
They can't look like a hoe. You be like, man, whatever. Yeah, I'm going.
And let me say this. He said, look like a hoe. A lot of them women will be a hoe online. They'll be a hoe. They'll dress like a hoe. They'll act like a hoe online. Their persona will be a hoe. But they don't want to be labeled by a guy they sleeping with as a hoe. Even though they a hoe across the board in every category. Social media, life, living, the upper room, the bottom room, the boom boom room, raised boom boom room. They just don't want you labeled them as a hoe. Even though they a hoe don't want to be labeled as a hoe.
And do something, get my vittles. But yeah, I don't care what you look like, what your body build is. As much as I talk body build, even how much money you got, you still gotta knock them out in the bedroom. You gotta knock them out. And if you can't knock them out, well, like I said, even if you're in a relationship with them, double back home, or if they talking about, like, if a woman's saying, well, you gotta wait 90 days, she ain't turned on by you. She just waiting. She waiting until she finds somebody else or see what else she doing. And even if she give you some, she might give you some just to keep the peace, keep the money flowing. Shoot, she give you that pancake sex, just lay there and shit. Some guys be thinking that shit. She only got to deal with it for 2 minutes in her eyes. You know, unless you one of those dudes that can surprise her. Anyway, that's all I got for today.
Shout out to Ron, bro. He's 100% right, bro. Like, a lot of guys like, God, you know, girls don't be doing it, man. Girls will ride, spin on your shit, do all this shit for you when they really, really like you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. They do anything and everything when they really, really like you. So, you know, he's right about that. If the sex ain't there, especially for black women, ain't nothing else there. The money can't supersede it. It'll keep the peace. You know, your swag can't. The sex gotta be there. It gotta be there for if you're dealing with black women, bro. It has to be there. It's paramount. It's imperative. It's top of the top for them. So hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, man. Appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Peace. And hit the link in the description on the Patreon.